red lights go on, and they go out now. And it's a pretty good getaway from Timothy Roebuck in pole position. But it's going to be John Village, unsurprisingly, that has the lead then as they head down towards the first corner. So Village it is that leads, Roebuck in second. Gregan Thruston there is up into third place. It looks like James Miles in fourth position from this slightly depleted field as they head around Clervaux and Hawthorne. Josh for the first time.
Yeah, and John Village, unsurprisingly, pulling clear. Obviously, we didn't see earlier what Gregan Thruston can do, and he's there in third place. So he's perhaps one to watch. James Miles, fourth. That's a good start from the fifth row of the grid. See if he can stay there. Then Trevor Slatter, who had problems towards the end of the race earlier, and the car that came into the pits had started from the pit lane. So that's Greg Catton, isn't it? He's already gained one position. He presumably won't be able to catch Tim Roebuck or John Village, but can he get onto the podium?
Possibly he was just worried about getting the car off the line or something like that, and therefore decided to start the race from the pit lane instead, just to avoid any damage, any accidents, getting involved with anybody else. So that's James Miles, and he's going to be caught, I think, at Sunny by Greg Catton. Here they come towards Barcroft. Yep, Catton's already got through. In actual fact, Ben Bolts goes through as well in the number 13 Centaur, and so too does number 6 Richard Verheyden in the Austin 7, which is, I think, in the lead of its class. So the leader, John Village, is already back down towards us in our commentary position at the back of the complex. And he's got a very comfortable lead over Timothy Roebuck in second place. And third at the moment looks to be, it is still Gregan Thruston there. In third place with Trevor Slatter up to fourth position. So he's, I think, going to get into the podium positions before too much longer.
So there goes Richard Verheyden. I don't think he's got Charlie Plain Jones to race with again, has he? After that problem earlier. There goes a problem for Gregan Thruston again, is it? He lost third to Trevor Slatter, and things didn't seem all that well there with the Rawson Special. And he's carrying on now and going quicker than what he might have been. And for second place, Tim Roebuck versus Trevor Slatter. That was a gap of 4 seconds at the start of the lap. It's less than that, I would suggest, as they come here down towards Tower Bend. So there's Roebuck then. And will he be able to hang on to second overall this time?
We'll see. I mean, last time out in the early race, Tim Roebuck did a 152.05 as his best lap. Trevor Slatter's best was a 153.43. But of course, this is a circuit that's new to these drivers. So we'll be learning things every session. Particularly Trevor, of course, who didn't do the qualifying session either, so he's had even less track time than some of his fellow competitors here in the historic 750 Formula Series.
Yeah, I think Tim was testing a little bit yesterday as well, so got a little bit more track time. There's Ben Bolt, who's running 6th this time. He finished 7th earlier. We're also missing Paul Mason, aren't we? Who was he the one that pulled off at the end of the race? So there goes Village. So he's well out in front, and already into second is Slatter. So Trevor Slatter, now has he picked his pace up, or has Tim Roebuck dropped his pace from earlier?
Well,
so of course he was involved in that battle, which tends to make you go a bit quicker.
Let's have a look at Slatter's time as he comes across the line this time. So he's gone from 4th to 2nd on this lap. Just waiting for the screen to. He's done a 150.44, so he's gone 3 seconds faster than he went in the earlier race.
So there he is, the driver from Oxfordshire, Trevor Slatter, who raced in 750 Formula back in the 80s, I think, and has been a winner in historic 750 Formula in this Centaur Mark 11 850cc Reliant engine car. This particular car was the runner-up in the 750 Formula Championship back in 1978. It's good to have cars that raced in period here at Croft. And he was a bit late on the brakes, I think, into Tower there, run a little bit wide. Gregan Thruston's car was badly misfiring as it came across the line, so I'm not sure if he continued. But that's, I mean, is Catton's fourth, and can he catch his mate from earlier, Tim Roebuck? Catton's done a 52.7, which isn't as quick as he went earlier, but Tim Roebuck is a good few seconds slower for whatever reason, and he was in race 1. There's the Dyson Special then. Interesting to have some different shapes of cars out here.
It certainly is.
This machine.
Yeah, built back in 1964 by the Eccleston brothers. Originally ran in the 1172 Formula, but these cars allowed and encouraged indeed in historic 750 Formula. I think 5 of cars these were made. Another well-known 750 Motor Club member, Angelo Farina, collected 3 of the cars, but it's thought all was scrapped, so this is a pretty unusual car that we have here today. It's great to see it out there, and Greg going pretty well. He's looking around. I'm not quite sure what for. Competition, maybe?
He's got his arm was out the cockpit, pointing to something.
Yeah.
So, is there something he noticed in the car that's not well? Well, he's still going, which I don't think the same can be said for Greg and Fruston. So Ben Bolt is up at the 5th, and Richard Verheyden is 6th. James Miles 7th, and Peter Marsh in 8th. There's Roebuck. Catton carrying on, but he didn't catch on the previous lap so much. He was, 3 seconds or so slower than what he did on the one before. There's Roebuck, who did go quicker. He did a 55.0, but still again, it's a couple of seconds slower than race 1. There's Slatter. He's 12 seconds behind John Village. So he'll be glad that he, for whatever reason, he was late this morning. He'll be glad that he carried on with his day, won't he? Now up in 2nd position.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Finished 4th earlier.
Yeah, he's not going to catch John Village. He's not lapping quite as quickly. Well, there's only perhaps about a second a lap in it in terms of their best lap times. But John Village has really built quite a strong car here, and of course very good driver as well. Tough to beat over the past couple of seasons in historic 750 Formula. As I say, some of the drivers that might be competitive with him, not here this weekend. There's the number 8 car, that's Peter Marsh, and he is 2nd within the Austin 7 class at the moment. Richard Verheyden it is in number 6 that leads the way there. Peter Marsh from Tittenser, the Austin 7 Paxton Special. Richard Verheyden further up the road in the Ulster Bad Frog. So many derivatives, of course, of the Austin 7 over the years. And it was the Austin 7 and the enthusiasts who owned and drove those cars in the late 1930s that set up the 750 Motor Club, but just before the start of the Second World War, which proved not to be the greatest timing. But from the late 1940s, the 750 Motor Club started running 750 Formula, and it's still going to this day, the oldest continuously running championship and Formula in the world.
I think I read there's a big grid entered for the opening round at Silverstone in a couple of weeks as well.
Yeah,
well in excess of 20 cars.
Heard encouraging noises about that, so we look forward to seeing that. That's the national circuit meeting, racing on all 3 Silverstone layouts this year, the international circuit in August and the Grand Prix circuit in October for the championship finals. And what a great way to spend your time driving these fantastic classic cars around Croft in the glorious evening sunshine.
That's a very nice day here. There's a few spots of rain mid-afternoon that didn't turn into anything. And for 3rd, it's got much closer because Greg Catton has caught Tim Roebuck, the 2 drivers who battled in race 1. So maybe have a change.
Yeah, they're right together now, aren't they? At the hairpin, going through to complete lap number 5. That's already been completed by John Village in the V2. Village V2.
And here comes Catton. He's got a more straight line speed at the moment. Tim Roebuck looks over, looks to see where his competitor is, and realises he's going ahead. So Catton up into 3rd. puff of smoke out the side of the car there as he turned through Clairvaux. Might have just been where the sort of tyres rubbed on the bodywork when they through the compression. He's just on a 51.4, Catton, which is exactly what he did earlier, 51.4 in both races. But he is lapping on that last lap 4 seconds quicker than Trevor Slatter, was 6 seconds behind him. So can Slatter pick his pace up, or may Catton gain another position before the end? But I suspect there's not very much longer left in this race now.
No, 4.5 minutes on the clock. We'll see if we get all of those. We may not. With time against us, there's Slatter, who's in second place at the moment. It's about 6 seconds between those two cars at the moment. So you can see where John Village is in all of this. He is
20 seconds ahead of those cars. So there he is into the complex.
Yeah, so he's turning his way through. He'll have to lap, I think that's James Miles, before very much longer, if there's enough time left in the race. So Village about to come out of the hairpin, as at the complex the second place cars arrive. So Village heading over the line once again and on to another lap. So John Village it is that's still leading. Trevor Slatter in second, Greg Catton in third, Timothy Roebuck in fourth position, and of course leading his class as well. But John Village already now well on his way on to his seventh lap.
Yep. And Slatter versus Catton, came right down, didn't it? So 2 seconds, another 4 seconds caught. So we could have this change for second then on the last lap or so, as they turn their way through Hawthorne. And there's Village, the leader, but 16 seconds behind this is the challenge. And actually Catton was quicker than Village on the last lap. There goes John Village. You see it extremely close to over the rear axle in these cars, which you won't see on more modern machinery for obvious reasons. For second, what's happened to Slatter?
He's still there. He's a little way ahead actually of third and fourth now, but he is still there. Yeah, I was just wondering the same thing myself, but he's a little bit further up the road. We're watching John Village though, number 29, heading back towards the complex for the seventh time here, and turning his way now through the right hand element of the sequence, and then he's got the left hand hairpin to go, and then on to the start and finish straight, and up to the line he comes. And it looks like we might get the full 15-minute duration out of this race after all. The last lap board is out in fact, so we'll see how that goes. Trevor Slatter still there in second,
but Greg Catton is not. I think that's why we thought Trevor Slatter had gone missing. It was in fact the other way around.
Okay, yes. Yeah, the car sounding a little bit unhealthy as it comes through the complex that time, the Greg Catton car, I'm afraid. The Anglia engine in it anyway. Is he going to head for the pits? Yeah, he is. Well, you said he was looking around like he was unhappy with something a couple of laps ago, didn't you?
And he started from the pit lane as well, so there's a few things that perhaps...
I mean, it's a sad end to the day for that car, but nevertheless it's been a very encouraging first appearance. Certainly some good pace there for the Dyson.
Tim Roebuck was the quickest car on the track on the last lap, 1:54.0. Don't think he's going to make any difference to the result, but he's always quick in this car, isn't he? The Tim Roebuck, third in both races, looks like. But since John Village rejoined the 750 Motor Club, he has been the driver to beat in this category. 69 years of age now, from North East Derbyshire, and he turns his way into the final couple of corners to complete what is an 8-lap race then for the Raceparts Historic 750 Formula in the Village V2. a copy of the car that he raced 50 years ago.
Yep, out of the hairpin he comes then, and he'll come up to the line. And it's going to be a double victory here at Croft Circuit for John Village. He takes the checkered flag to win the Raceparts historic 750 Formula Series race. 17 seconds was his victory margin in race 1. It's probably not going to be too far away from that margin in race 2 either. Over the line has gone Trevor Slatter, and the gap just about to be confirmed. Actually, it's 12.5 seconds because it was a much slower lap for John Village on that final lap. So Trevor Slatter second and Timothy Roebuck third, winning the supercharged Austin 7 class. And then fourth will be Van Bolt in the end, won't it, with the demise of Greg Catton towards the end. And then Richard Verheyden will be fifth and winning the Austin 7 class. I'm sure there'll be more cars out the next time historic 750 Formula assembles. That's at Brands Hatch on the 21st of May. After that, they go to Mallory Park in June, Cadwell Park in July, Snetterton in August, and then they finish the season at Donington Park in September. And at Snetterton and at Donington Park, the second races of those meetings will both be handicap races rather than the usual scratch, which always adds an extra element to things, Josh.
Yeah, and as we said earlier, the competitors like that. An enjoyable way to go racing, especially in this type of car. A lot of that, this period, a very popular way to go racing, handicap racing, which is almost non-existent now in British motorsport, but it is with the 750 Motor Club. Let's have a look at the results then of this scratch race. John Village it was that took the victory. 8 laps of racing and he won in car number 29. Second place went to number 72, that was Trevor Slatter, 12.5 seconds behind. Then third, number 18, Tim Roebuck. He won his class, the Austin 7 Supercharged class. Fourth place to number 13, that was Ben Bolt in the Centaur. In fifth place, number 6, Richard Verheyden. And then I think we'll find that Greg Catton is not classified because he retired to the pit. So it'll be sixth place, number 11, James Miles. Seventh, number 8, Peter Marsh. And also Greg and Fruston, also not classified. So the class winners Village, Roebuck and Verheyden. And I say, historic 750 Formula Series back in action at Brands Hatch next month. A reminder that there's still more racing to come here at Croft Circuit tomorrow. At 12 o'clock we have qualifying for the Tagiwa Club Enduro Championship. We'll bring that to you live on the Alpha live stream, so if you're watching now, come back tomorrow for that. And then we've got all 8 races for you, 7 sprint races, and then we'll end the day with the Tagiwa Club Enduro Championship race itself, the full 120-minute 2-hour race. That should be quite something. So join us either here at the circuit or on the Alpha live stream for that tomorrow, as I say, from 12 o'clock. So we've got the cars heading back in at the end of that race. So we'll be heading down in a moment to have the final interviews of the day. Just some final thoughts from you briefly, Josh? Yeah, it's some exciting racing, wasn't there? Some last lap, but special moments in the Sports 1000s and in the MX5s as well, and look forward to both of those categories getting 2 races tomorrow, so that should be pretty exciting. And the road sports race I think was really promising for a really cracking 2-hour enduro race to round off tomorrow, so lots to look forward to with a full afternoon of racing here at Croft, and I think each race is going to be one to watch.
Absolutely right. So thank you very much to Josh Barrett alongside myself, Ian Soman, here in the commentary box. A quick thanks to all of the marshals who've done such sterling work here at Croft today. Generally speaking, quite nice conditions. Crack open the sun cream. We'll see you all again tomorrow. From Josh and myself, it's goodbye, and we'll hand down to Chris Stevens in the pit lane for the final time today.
Well, the final race of the day is won by John Village. Once again, I mean, a double victory for you today. You continue to be the benchmark of this championship.
Well, that's very good of you to say that, but I think there's some entrants that aren't here that could, give us a hard time. So
Well, maybe next time out there'll be a bigger fight then.
Yeah, let's hope so, yeah.
Well, I mean, in the meantime, you've come back to Croft for the first time in a very long time and come away with 2 victories.
No, great
Heck of a
fun.
day.
Great fun. Thoroughly enjoyed it. The circuit's got everything, hasn't it? Fast, slow, twisty. It's very good.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations again.
Thank you very much indeed.
Great weekend for you. Let's go and talk to Tim Roebuck once again. Another class victory for you. It looked pretty plain sailing out there.
Yeah, well, I never found the third gear that I lost in the first race. So,
Oh, no.
So I had no third gear, but otherwise it was, it wasn't too bad.
All right, well, there's always something under the... No, never on the face of it, is there?
No, but no, it was a good race. The car went really well despite not having third gear, and yeah, it was fairly quiet mostly.
You using third gear often, normally on this track?
You use it 2 corners of this track, and then second for the hairpin. So I was just going around the whole track in fourth and second for the hairpin. But it's you just lose a bit of engine braking, so it works the front brakes particularly a bit harder. But yeah,
I imagine going down from that into the hairpin must be a bit of a jolt.
Yeah, but you've already taken a lot of speed off by the time you get to the hairpin. So actually, it's not that big a deal. I would be in third normally anyway there. So yeah, it's not too bad, but it's just a bit slow coming out of tower, and because you're still in fourth. But
Right. Glad it wasn't too hard for you out there.
yeah,
Another class win for Tim Roebuck, and last talk of the day will be Richard Verheiden once again. Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah, can't believe it. 2 in a row, although there wasn't a lot of competition today, let's be fair. Yeah, let's see if I can keep it going through the Brands Hatch.
You got to take what you can get, right?
Absolutely, and with the weather turned out good, the car turned out good, so yeah, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, Ian was saying in the commentary box, there's got to be not much better in this world than taking beautiful cars out like this on a nice sunny evening at Croft.
Yeah, and drifting them around the last 2 corners every lap. Yeah, it's a good day.
All right, great stuff. Well, congratulations on the class victory for you, and hopefully we'll see you out next time at Brands.
Definitely.
Awesome.
I'll be there. Cheers.
What's up, man? Right, well, that wraps up all the action from Croft here today, but join us tomorrow because the 750 Motor Club continues with more races, more series, more championships to come tomorrow. We'll see you then.